Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the Pulsar 100 meter solar sports watch, model number PX3067. So we're gonna open this thing up, look at all the features and functions, check out the build quality, and then I'll let you know what I think of this watch. Also, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping page for this and many of my other favorite watches. I'll make sure to put a link in the description field for you. So here you go, never reviewed a Pulsar before, so not really sure what to expect. There you go, interesting little watch box. Let's take this thing out. Wow, nice looking watch. All right, let's see what else you get inside. I think you just get an instruction manual and probably a warranty card. Let's see here, instruction manual. And I'm assuming this is maybe the warranty card. Yep, there you go, warranty card. All right, let's put all this boring crapola back. Let's talk about this thing. Of course, I'm gonna put all the specs on the left-hand side of the screen for you, and then we will dive into this watch. All right, man, this is a good looking watch. All right, you're looking at a 44 millimeter case. It's 12 millimeters thick. It's 52 millimeters lug to lug. It's on a 20 millimeter bracelet. It's 100 meters water resistant, which of course is 330 feet. It does have a hardlex crystal because Pulsar is owned by Seiko, by the way. It has an Epson AS32 movement with a 4-month power reserve. Not a big power reserve, but when you find out what you have to pay for this watch, you're gonna kind of understand. It has a non-screw down crown, a non-movable bezel, and we'll talk about that later as well, Luma Bright. It has a date function over there at 3 o'clock. It has a really nice patterned wave dial, and it has a low power indicator, which means it ticks every 2 seconds when the battery's low. And when it starts doing that, it means you only have about a day of power left. So Pulsar is interesting because Pulsar seems to have been forgotten for about the last 30 years or so. And people forget that Pulsar used to be owned by Hamilton. They actually created the first LED watch in 1972, and Seiko bought Pulsar back in around 1978, I believe, and they're now kind of like their entry-level offering. You know, many of these watches are much, much cheaper than a lot of Seiko's entry-level watches. I mean, if you really want a budget watch, Pulsar is the way to go. Now, when I say budget watch, it doesn't mean that it's not very well made. It just means you're not going to get a lot of features that you would on a regular Seiko. So again, good looking watch. I love the dial. You see the pattern wave right there. Really nice applied indexes. Really nice applied indexes. And this is a feature that I really like. You have a nice bezel around the date window, and it's pretty big. It's bigger than some watches I've seen. Minimal writing. You have 100 meters right there. And then you have a water resist under it, and that's really about it for the dial. Obviously, you have the Pulsar logo and the solar logo underneath that. Just a real simple, but very legible and very well-built dial. I like this thing, man. You got a lot of polishing, tons of polishing all over the case. The links are mostly brushed with some polished inserts. These are basically a 3-link bracelet. So you have 1 link, 2 link, 3 links, and the inner links are polished and everything else looks like it's brushed. Yeah, it looks like it's brushed. So, I mean, a really nice watch. I'm kind of surprised that it's this nice for how much it is. And I'll put a link in the description field for where you can get it and how much it is. I want you to be shocked because I think you're going to be when you find out how much this watch is. The bracelet is probably the weak point of this watch. It just comes off as a little cheap. I mean, again, for what this thing costs, I kind of expected that. I mean, it's not bad. It's that stamped metal clasp right there. You do have a signed buckle right here. It is lockable. So it's not really, I take that back, it's not too bad. It just comes off as a tad cheap, but the actual bracelet itself is pretty nice. You have polished, looks like all the end links are polished as well. All the regular links, I'm sorry, are polished. You do have solid end links. So, I mean, man, I'm you know, pretty impressed with this watch for what they can do for the money. What else? Oh, 2 things. One, I love that dial. That dial really adds an air of sophistication to the watch. It makes it look like a much more expensive watch. The hands for me personally are a little bit skinny. The hour and minute hand, and of course you can barely see the second hand unless you catch it in the light. You can barely see the second hand moving. The only other thing that I was really surprised with, and I started laughing honestly, this is a non-movable bezel. This thing, so if you really want to use this for diving, you are bleep out of luck. because this bezel does not move. It doesn't move a bit. It's non-movable. I guess, again, you know, for how much this watch costs, they can't really include all the features that you would really want in a, this isn't a diving watch. It's only rated to 100 meters. But I thought that maybe at least the bezel would have moved, but it doesn't. So there you go. What else? Let's take a look at the case back. Nothing special with the case back. I mean, this is really a budget watch, folks. It looks like you get some laser etching here. Looks like you have a Pulsar. It looks like a wave, some sort of wave logo there with some other etching on the case back. It's a screw down case back. A lot of polishing. You can see all that polishing on the case, even on the case back, which is interesting. What else? Of course, you have a non-screw down crown. You do have some crown guards, and I really don't know why you need crown guards for a non-screw down crown, but I mean, it adds to the looks, and I guess you don't want to bump any crown on any watch, really. Just 3 positions. You know, you have your home position, then you have your date, which is the first position. You pull out one time, and then you pull it out a second time, and there you go. You have your time right there. So, I mean, guys, this might be one of the best budget solar watches I have ever seen, despite the fact that the bezel doesn't move. It feels really well made. Again, clasp a little bit cheap and kind of tinny feeling, but the actual bracelet is great. I like the bracelet. So there's really not too much else to tell you about this thing other than to go ahead and try it on. I'll give you a lume shot too. Let's go ahead and try this thing on. Man, good looking watch. It's a big case. I mean, that 44 millimeter case, it looks bigger on the wrist than you would think. Man, this is nice, man. This is probably also the perfect weekend beater watch. And this is the perfect budget solar weekend beater watch. There you go. Let's go ahead and check out the lume here. Let's kill the studio light. Let's kill the monitor. Let's go ahead and zap this. Now this does have LumiBrite, but I'm assuming that it doesn't have many coatings of LumiBrite. Let's take a look and see what we can see here. I'm guessing it's not going to blow you away. Not too bad. Wow. I don't think it has as many coatings. In fact, I'm positive. I know it doesn't have as many coatings as like a Monster or something. Now, the camera is picking up this a lot better than the naked eye. To the naked eye, the lume is almost already faded out. It's almost already gone. Wow, that's crazy that the camera can pick that up, but the naked eye can't. Anyway, so decent lume. A lot better than I thought it would be. A lot better than I thought it would be. So let's turn everything back on here. And what else did I want to tell you about this thing? Guys, that's really about it. Again, perfect, absolute perfect weekend beater solar watch. You really can't beat it for the price. Again, look in the description field. You're going to find out how much it cost. And then go over to my Amazon shopping channel and pick yourself up one. Man, I like this watch. Like I said, never reviewed a Pulsar before. Had no idea what to expect. And I am very, very pleasantly surprised. Man, I love that dial too. Really, really love that dial. So again, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping page for this and many of my other favorite watches. Again, check out the link in the description field. And also make sure you like and subscribe. I've got a couple, actually I've always got new reviews coming up, but I feel the need to tell you all that. But anyway, I've got some more stuff coming up, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. And that's about it. Again, this has been the Pulsar 100 meter solar sports watch, model number PX3067. And until next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.